Hey everyone, this is Frugal Panda here. This will be a quick video on the Nob Hill neighborhood of Portland, Oregon. So I went to the Pearl District to walk around, to get coffee, and I just want to see what it looked like in regards to, I hadn't been here since probably August of last year. And as I said in my other video in regards to my review of the Pearl District of Portland, Oregon, there's homeless people everywhere. There was homeless people when I was there the last 4 or 5 times on different occasions starting in 2020. But it was like really bad. It was like really bad. And I was saying to, people that are from Portland, you really need to get on your leaders or boot them out of office. It's at that point, like, it's not cool. And this has nothing to do with people that live in Portland. People that live in Portland are really good people, very kind people. And sometimes people from other parts of the country take that kindness from weakness that are coming out to freeload on cities that have great benefit and want to really help out their homeless population. So the drug use, I would be walking and hearing just homeless people walking down the street talking about, the drugs they had just done or what they were doing. Or one guy, there was like two or three people walking. They were talking like, oh, yeah. Yeah, usually after I go get lunch and stuff, I go and do such and such drug. And we're not talking about the simple green stuff. We're talking about the heavy stuff. I was like, wow, just nonchalant like that right there walking down the street. And behind me, there was like a family with kids, overhearing this. I felt really bad, especially for people who think that's their first impression of Portland. So I went there, and I wasn't really planning on going to Nob Hill this time, but I said, I'm curious. I want to know what Nob Hill looks like now, right? Because I want to say in my old video I did in regards to Nob Hill, I want to say I saw maybe 1 or 2 homeless people when I was there, and literally they were doing their thing. There was no tents. There was nothing like that. Now, that's not to say that I missed a street where there's a whole row of tents. Usually in cities, that's where it's at. But I'm willing to bet a lot of that is in the Pearl District and probably some of the surrounding neighborhoods to the Pearl District. So going to Nob Hill was great as it was before. Beautiful homes, cool little shops. Parking was pretty simple. I forget how much it cost, $4 or $5 for 2 hours. A little expensive for that. I could have probably looked around and found a spot to park in a neighborhood. But like I said before, I don't know about vandalism and stuff in Portland. And I'm trying to think, I had my bike. No, I didn't have my bike with me at that time. I left it at actually at my hotel room. So I didn't really have nothing in there, but I still didn't want my windows or something broken out, and them not being able to really get anything of value, but maybe some baby wipes. So I parked down here. I found a spot and I parked. And I said, well, let me take a video because some other people will be interested because I know a lot of you guys out there like to travel or you're interested in places you possibly want to travel to. So I walked around Nob Hill. Still beautiful. Like I said, the houses were great. I saw a little bit more homeless people, but here's the thing about it. I also saw a neighborhood that's in Nob Hill or near Nob Hill. I think it's pretty much near it, and there's a hospital right there. Now, a lot of people don't know this. So I was like, there was quite a few homeless people around this area. And I was like, why in this certain part of Nob Hill or the surrounding area? And all of a sudden I saw the hospital and I was like, it makes sense. That's why. So as I've said in many videos before, I've spent over 2 decades working in human services and mental health. 2 of my side jobs I have are working for 2 different organizations that work with what they call, I call the homeless population. Some people call them the unhoused. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's homeless population, not the unhoused. It's homeless population. So if you know anything, literally a lot of homeless people, besides the ones that OD and are doing heavy drugs, I was in Portland and saw them working on somebody who'd probably OD'd on some meth or take your pick, blues, whatever they were taking. So they were right down there working on somebody who had OD'd. So if you have a hospital near your neighborhood where you live at, there's a problem there. You think, oh, it's great to have a hospital there, but it's really not when you have a large homeless population. The homeless population will also use the hospitals, or what we call EMS, emergency medical services, as a taxi or a Lyft or an Uber drivers. I've literally watched people I worked with call EMS or the EMTs to come and get them. And they'll say simple things like, I'm having heart pains, or I'm having this, or I'm having that. I think I'm having a heart attack. I don't feel well. And literally, they'll get a $2,000 or $3,000 ride to get somewhere else in the city. and see where it takes them, and it takes them to that local hospital. So those hospitals get them in on top of the people that have OD'd out there and have just straight up basic mental health on top, mental health things on top of the drug abuse, getting released into those neighborhoods. So anywhere around those hospitals, you got all these homeless people getting out of the ERs and stuff and getting released into those neighborhoods. Usually they find themselves back down to the main part of the city where there's tourists or where they can beg for money and stuff like that. But the neighborhoods that are right there where they get released, that's where you have problems. That's where you get vandalism. That's where you get them lingering around your neighborhood. So once I made it past that hospital, and I can't think off the top of my head what the name of that hospital was, everything cleared up, and it wasn't bad around the hospital. You just saw more of them walking. There was no tents up or anything like that. It's literally, you can tell these people had just been released from the EDs and stuff like that. So anyway, walking around, beautiful, younger, older couples, single people. Nob Hill is a very safe place. I'm letting you know that. It is a very safe place. It's a higher income area, and as I've said in other videos, higher income areas, they will not allow homeless people to hang out there as much. One, your city councils a lot of times live in them. A lot of times your mayors live in them. A lot of your leadership and a lot of people to put very large donation in whatever political party is usually running the cities, and they have a lot more heavier influence. So it is nothing compared to the Pearl District. Now, walking around in downtown Nob Hill, I did see homeless people. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, I didn't see them. I did see them walking, but they were usually 99% of the time they kept it moving, or if they were lingering or hanging out somewhere, it was in front of some empty business, like way at the end of the street where there was really no businesses operating. I think they shoot them on, whatever, but it was not like Pearl District area. I didn't have to worry about, running into the smell of urine and stuff like that. Now, would I still recommend Nob Hill like I did, I believe, in 2021, the last time I went, I believe in August? Yes, I wholeheartedly would. Nob Hill is a beautiful place. Just that I like the architecture of the houses. It's got good vibes. It's got a lot of good places to eat. Of course, I've said in other, videos, yes, there's diversity. There's so much diversity in this area. All types of people, all types of backgrounds, sexual orientations, religious backgrounds, whatever, or non-religious backgrounds. It's a great area. And I've done a lot more walking on this actual trip than I did in any of my past trips because, honestly, I did not eat as well. Yes, I would take like bananas and fruits and eat them, but I ate quite a bit of like food all the time. So I made sure I got out and walked a lot, and it was really good because it really helped me get to see a lot more of the city, this time. Like I said, look at the houses. The houses are beautiful. I could definitely see myself having a condo or a townhome down here. The only reason I wouldn't live in Nob Hill is its proximity and being part of Portland. Until Portland figures it out, and I'm not talking about the people that live there. I'm talking about their leadership figures it out. Their homeless population is way out of control. Somewhere you got to stop. You got to stop it. And what I figured out about people from Portland, and maybe I don't know about Oregon as a whole, but in Portland, people are really kind people. They're very nice people. But the problem with that, you can be nice to a point where it's a detriment. And what happens is you got dirt bags. You got people coming from other parts of the country that have nothing to offer to your economy, that hear about free stuff, free housing, free stuff like that, decriminalization of drugs. And I'm not going to get into the whole political thing of that, but they start coming out to your place. And it starts out a lot of times someone puts a tent in front of somebody's house in a neighborhood, and people are kind. They want to help. They give them some food. They do stuff like that. Before you know it, you got 10 tents. You got 3 broke down RVs. You got a couple of old van lifer guys hanging out there, and you got a whole party. I told you one part of the city I was in, not Nob Hill, but another city I was in another state, they were out there barbecuing in front of people's houses. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't tolerate. I'm like, you need to move. I'm for real about that. But I also live in an HOA neighborhood. So if I was moving to Portland, Oregon, Nob Hill would be one of the places I looked, but also you made me think about it. I would probably live in the surrounding areas, Hillsboro, Beaverton. I've been to them. Oswego. Grisham wasn't too bad either. I was there too. Hillsboro's really nice. Beaverton's really nice. Oswego's really nice. And they're not part of actually Portland. They have their own city councils and their own way of doing things. And so I think they're just better able to deal with it out there. That's where I'd live. And then I would probably honestly spend the extra money living in an HOA like I do now. Because I'm not going to sit out here in Colorado and say, we don't have one and, Oregon's this and Oregon's that. No, I love going to Oregon. I will be back. I have to. I have kids there, but I would go back regardless. It is a great place to go visit. The weather, the people, the food, things like that. I had pizza at Escape from New York, I believe is the name of it. Been there a couple times. I just wanted to have a quick lunch, walk around. I didn't want to eat too heavy, even though I got 2 slices of pizza. I should have just got 1. But then I had a late dinner somewhere else. Now, with that being said, go down here, go check it out, man. Don't be scared. I would tell anybody, if you go into any city, and we're not going to get into firearms and stuff like that because I know people have their own beliefs and some are yay or nay. So I'm not going to say what my opinion is on it. All I'll tell you is I'm an Army veteran. So that probably tells you what my opinion is on it. But I will tell you, single person, single man, single woman, couple, older, younger, whatever, at least have you a can of pepper spray. And I'm not saying I never felt unsafe. Let me say that. I've never felt unsafe here. Even in the Pearl District, I did not feel unsafe. Me personally, but that's me personally. Who's to say, you're a young woman or older woman, you weigh 95 pounds, or a guy, or, you're an older gentleman, you're 85 years old trying to walk around. Always at least keep you some pepper spray on you. I don't care what city, whether it's Portland, whether it's LA, whether it's Boise, Idaho, have it. Do what you need to do not to be a victim, because there's always somebody out there looking for a victim or somebody looking for prey. And what they think is easy prey. Think of it like coyotes. Coyotes will never take on anything they think might fight back or might hurt them. But think of some of these people as like coyotes. They're always watching, waiting for someone that they think is a mark. But don't let that scare you. Just like I said, common sense, pepper spray, especially if you're traveling anyway and you don't believe in other things, at least have you some pepper spray on you just traveling across the country and stuff like that. I'm old school. So, I'm old school. I always have pepper spray for when I'm on my bike riding, because I actually had a guy try and chase me down. He didn't have no sense either. Not in Nob Hill, but another place, try and chase me down. He was 60 years old, mental health, of course, homeless, probably weighed 105 pounds. And I'm thinking in my head, it was me. I didn't feel unsafe. I'm like, you better go on with that, And I told him, I said, you better go on with that. It ain't going to be a good day for you. But what if I was, say, a 65-year-old woman, a little lady, or someone who had some type of a smaller man, or someone that just is not into violence and all that type of stuff? Well, I might have had a bad day. So just use common sense, everyone. As far as Nob Hill goes, go visit it. As far as Pearl District goes, go visit it, at least to see what it looks like. And there's still good places going Pearl District. One thing I'll tell you is do not go to them at nighttime. Do not go to any of them. Nob Hill, yeah, but don't be there super late at night when the crowds have left. I'm just going to let you know that it is a city. I don't care. You can go there. You can go to Tupelo, Mississippi. A city is still a city. Just use your common sense. Great area, though. Good vibes. It was a beautiful day. This is in October 2022. And I wanted to see dreariness. That's what I came out here for partly, too, was I wanted to see this part of the year. Here it is October, I forget, 8th or whatever, 8th through the 9th or 10th or something like that. It was 80 degrees out and beautiful. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody out there who's looking. Enjoy your time wherever you go. Go seek adventure. Whatever is whatever, but go have fun, because you never learn anything about anything if you just sit in the house. Anyway, thanks everyone. Have a good day. This is Frugal Panda out.